I kind of find the worst to explain. But like I say, if you know the system and you do a bit of research, you can see how they've been getting away with it for years, and how they trick you into going into courts and get summons and stuff like that. Because it's all under Admiralty law and not common law for the common man. It's all from the UK Act 1871, brought on by the fake royals, the illegitimate reptilians, changed them all into corporations instead of just human beings. It's a pig to get up this bank like. But like I say, once you get to the top, it's all zigzag, zigzag going downhill to get to the main track that goes along the top of the river. So once you get to the top of the bank here, you can breathe a sigh of relief and put your oxygen mask on. But that path back there must take you all the way down to the bottom, and you follow the fence along and it takes you out the far side of the farmers' fields. Then you turn right and it'll take you along towards where you go under the bridge, where the cars go over the top of the steel bridge. Then you go up the other side, there's a single gate, come up off the bridge and then cross the bridge. And then you just walk around to the main car park for Stoward Peel and Stoward Gorge along the Allen Banks River. It's the River Allen, like I say, it's A-L-L-E-N. So that pathway also must go into the tree line, and it comes right along here, look, because you can see a path going along 20 feet down, and it's going up there. So that must have been the original path going up through the woods. But you can see how high I'm getting by looking down there through the trees. Now the only good thing about having Bear here, if he was here, I'd have him on a leader and he pulls us up banks like this to help us along. That's the only time I like him pulling, because he gives us a hand to get up these bloody steep banks. Right, so I'm getting to the top of the bank here, where my next marker post is, with a purple arrow on it in the disc, and a bench seat for to sit down if you need a rest when you get to the top of this bank, which more elderly people will need to have a rest. I remember the first time I came up here, I was looking to see where the tarn was and I couldn't find it. And eventually, I don't know how I got to the top here. Then I looked down the bank and I seen it. I thought, oh, thank God for that. Because I was looking all up and down, all over. No, there was no marking post, no this way to MORALEE TARN, nothing. So I just literally had to walk backwards and forwards, round and round, up and down. And eventually I got to the top there and looked down and seen it. And then when I got there and seen it, I thought, God, it's now to look at. Right, so that's the hard part done. I've come up the bank and I'm at the top now, so it's just start winding my way round and round and round and down and down and down towards the River Allen at the bottom there. Hey. Let's take a little shortcut down here. Just get back on the path over there. Just making sure I didn't trip over. Right, so as you can see, it's just the first part that I would have to keep Bear on his leader, but once I get into this part here, I can let him off and he just start running backwards and forwards up the path. The only other issue I've got with him is sometimes he just stupid things by going to the top of cliffs and Luff's doing, and he goes sliding down and he gets into bother. And obviously it's steep cliffs this far side here, so I have to keep an eye on him. But the trouble is when he runs ahead and he goes out of sight, out of mind. Right, so there's another marker post there to point to tell you to go up there. Where I did, this is where I came to look for the tarn that day when I came up here, but like I say, there's just no clear indication where the tarn is. So unless you know where it is, it can be sometimes difficult to find. Oh, motivator. But this is where you start going down and down and down and down in S-bend after S-bend, and you drop down levels each time you go down. So it's not steep if you go down the zigzag pathways. Right, turn right here. There's your marker post pointing off to the right. And as you can see, it's bending around the right and going back on itself a little bit. So the River Allen is down there, straight ahead of us, right down at the bottom of the valley. 75 to 100 feet down. Now if you didn't know it was there, there's another bench seat there with a beautiful view and across the top of the canopy. But when it's overgrown, you don't know it's there. But I can see it now because everything's still quite dead and flat, so you can see over it. So like I say, it's just another place where you can sit and take a rest. So to get to it, you just turn left here at this little path and it takes you along there to that bench seat. Look at the views you've got across the top of the canopy, beautiful. So on a beautiful sunny day and the sun's just finding a way, shining through the tree line, it's beautiful. Obviously these stairs were here to join onto that pathway that was running parallel to the one I came up past the tarn. So if you went up there and continued on, it would take you back down to where that plaque says MORALEE TARN Woods. But they've temporarily fenced it off because these stairs won't be very secure, I don't think. They're all crumbling, they've been there for years. But that's where you go along there to that bench there, just off to the left. If you wanted to go and have a sit down and just look right across the other side of the river from up here. Right, so I've just got to go round and round and round and down and down and down till I get on the main path further down there, and I'll turn left, just go along past where I call Boulder City. Huge boulders that have run down the cliff and just settled both sides of the path. Here the cows mooing, early morning calling. Moo. So at the moment I'm going through all the what you go through every year when it comes around to April, the new tax year. You get loads of letters saying your benefits are going up, say 40 pence, but your rent's going up to 112 quid. So you gain nothing. Everything goes up in April. You get your utility bills through the door. Your prices are about to go up through the roof. So any increase you get in benefits doesn't help at all, because they give you it in one hand and take it straight off you in the other. So it always happens this time of the year, March into April. Right, so here's the first S-bend that goes around the left to drop down again. So like I say, when you're walking along here, and if you're going up there looking for MORALEE Tarn, you've got no signpost whatsoever, none. There's just, every now and again there's a wooden marker post with a disc in it with a purple arrow on it or whatever, but no name this way to MORALEE Tarn or whatever, nothing. It's just that I know where it is now after coming up here a few times, and when I went looking for it for the first time, whoop, it's quite steep going downhill. So my battery that I've got in at the moment is fully charged, so I'll get at least 2 hours out of this one. So that should be enough to take us right along towards Planky Mill campsite and beyond. Right, so this is where the S-bend takes you right round, and then you drop down again. Now that main pathway going along there down to the right, if you went round the corner and got onto that and went right along, it would take you down to the farmers' fields, where you could go along back to the steel bridge and turn left and go to the official car park if you wanted to. But I'm going in this direction towards Planky Mill campsite, so I won't be doubling back on myself. I've been looking all over for electricians that work on PCB boards, because I've got a Noco Boost car charger which wasn't working. It had the red light on permanently, where it's got the red exclamation mark in a diamond, and it's lit up red constantly. So I've just sent it off to a company that I've just recently found called Electrical Partners or something, Electric Partners, and you send it to them and they send it off down to wherever it goes, down south, and then they'll have a look at the PCB board and work out what's wrong with it, repair it, and then they contact you if they can repair it or it's beyond repair. So now it's gone, I just have to wait for them to get back to us within, say, 5 days to a week. Right, so here's my next S-bend going round, and then you drop down again down there, look. It's just S-bend after S-bend after S-bend, get lower and lower and lower as you go. Then the lower you get, you can actually start hearing the river running over boulders. So always remember when you pass these 3 big stones grouped up here, triple stone, big massive boulders. And there's your next wooden marker post with an arrow on it, purple disc with a white arrow, and it's got the footprint in it, meaning footpath. But I'm just putting these 3 big boulders on this corner to remind you of where I've come all the way over the top past the Tarn, and I've just started coming down the zigzag paths, bringing you down gently, further down and down and down and down as you go. Loads of trip hazards here, like loose stones, tree roots, lethal combination. Right, so here's the next S-bend that you go down. And it's something else to remember, this bit of dead tree at the side of the track. That must be a little cut that goes through that pathway that goes down, takes you down to the bottom of the main path. Oh, more tea vicar. Do you want some salt and pepper on that? So I popped in the garage and filled up on my way along the Liam Lane on my way out here, and diesel is 163 a litre, so it's gone from 136 to 163 because of the Iran bullshit. Any excuse that the globalists can use, they'll just bump the prices up every time. And there's no shortage, that's just a scam. It's just their way of making money quickly, putting up the prices of diesel and petrol. So obviously Trump's secured the Strait of Hormuz, and other ships from other countries have gone to help to make sure to keep it open, so the petrol, the tankers, oil tankers can get along through the Straits of Hormuz. So hopefully it won't be too long before the prices of diesel start going back down again. But as you know, every time it goes up quick, but it takes forever to come back down. So unfortunately we'll have to put up with these prices for a bit longer, which, like I say, it's just a big scam. But like I say, this sort of thing's been going on for absolute years. The bankers, the Rothschilds and all that manipulate the prices of everything. Interest rates, the dollar, bank money, loan money, they've manipulated for years on end. Oh, there's a post with Tarn written on it. That's the first ever post I've seen. So obviously it's telling it to go up there. But look how high I've been up there coming down the way. Right, so I've got to drop down to the next level here. Right, so you can actually see the river there now, the River Allen down below. So if you wanted to go down and go over the farmers' fields and along the edge of the river on this side, going to the bridge, you can go down that pathway there, takes you down to meet the fence at the bottom. You turn left, go along the gateway that's open, and just go along the edge of the river. And then you can see the main pathway coming along down there. But if you were coming up this direction, going up towards the Tarn from here, By the time you get to the top in the Tarn, you'd need an oxygen tent and a new set of legs, because it's uphill all the way and it's steep. I know it's going up in zigzag, but it's still hard work on the legs. Alright, if you're young and you're doing like a leg workout, you come here and go up there to the Tarn. Right, so as you can see, the pointing arrows are going in both directions, because you can go that way back to the, well, there's the farmer's fields down below, look, so you go follow that all the way down to the bottom, turn left, go along to the edge of the farmer's field, turn right, and go back over towards the steel bridge where all the cars drive over the River Allen. And obviously this way, oh, there's another, they've got Tarn written on it, and the purple arrows pointing that way. So they must have taken notice of my last few videos where I said there's no indications whatsoever to tell you how to get to the Tarn. Because back in 2000 and what it was, 2000, maybe 2012, 2014 or something, there was a rope bridge that you could walk along the main side, come over the bridge and come this way to go to the Tarn, and make a circular walk to go back to the car park. But if you look down there, that's where that path takes you down and along to get on the main path going back towards the steel bridge down there, look. But I'm just going to continue straight along this main track now, going towards Planky Mill campsite. Right, so you can hear the water going over some boulders down there. You can see the Whitewater Rapids. There's your pathway down there. Right, so basically if I brought Bear here with me, I could lure him off his lead at the top here, and we just follow these pathways all the way down, and then we just go straight along here. And when we get the far end, it bends around the right and goes over a little bridge, and you can get close to the river's edge. Right, so you can see the main path down there coming towards here, where you come up the stairs to get on this path that I'm on. Right, so you can see the zigzag path that you come up from the river's edge and come up here and go around in this S-bend, and it brings you up onto the pathway here, look. There used to be a marker post here with arrows on it and all pointing, because you can go up there, up the stairs. There's a bit of a shortcut. You can just continue along the path like I've just done. But this is the way people used to come up from the river when they crossed over the bridge that used to be there before it got swept away by the the river rose that much and fast and really running, it just ripped the bridge away. It was suspended and it was dropping down into the water, and the currents just were so fast and powerful, it just swept the bridge away, so you couldn't do this walk anymore. But these pathways are remnants of what used to be the circular walk that I used to do. You'd come along from the main car park on that side, cross over the suspended bridge, come up the pathway here, go up and over down past the Tarn, and then go down that main path back to the pathway going back towards the steel bridge. And that was your circular walk, just a short circular walk. Ah, here's this marker post here. I thought I had seen a marker post. So when you come right up that zigzag pathway, brings all the way up here, and there's your marker post. One would have been pointing that way, and then the other one's pointing straight ahead. But you can see the stairs that people used to go up there, the stone stairs. Right, but I'm just going to go straight along here now, all the way along, through Boulder City. That's what I call it. It's my nickname for it. And I'm now currently walking along parallel with the River Allen, A-L-L-E-N, Allen. Not the man's name Alan, it's Allen. So I'm just going to follow this path straight along, all the way along to